going on, Arizona sports fan family? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Happy Halloween to all the people that are actually celebrating out there. Today, what I want to go ahead and talk about is the trade deadline is tomorrow. Are the Arizona Cardinals going to make some moves, or are we just going to go ahead and do nothing? Let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Roll that intro. Alright everybody, welcome back in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, today what I want to specifically talk about is the trade deadline. Are the Arizona Cardinals going to make another move? Now, looking at the recent, trades that we ended up trading for this year so far, right? We're sitting with Cody Ford, Trayvon Mullen, as well as Robbie Anderson. We're going to go ahead and talk about their usage pertaining to what they have done on the field so far. Now, before we get started and dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen, do me one huge favor, smack the like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We're throwing videos out here daily at this very moment, so definitely subscribe and join the community. I want to do one thing before we get started and talking about the trades that already happened, as well as if the Arizona Cardinals are going to make another trade, in the 2022 season. I want to go ahead and show you guys this clip of Patrick Peterson basically calling out Steve Keim. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this.
Where's Steve Keim? Still running from me. That's what I want to talk to, man. The man face to face. Stop running.
What do you want to tell him?
I want to talk to him in his face. I don't want him to see this. I want to see him person to person. Yeah, I need to see him person to person.
It's really crazy to see the situation that we're standing at right now with Patrick Peterson pretty much calling out Steve Keim. Now, I know there's a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans that aren't really happy with Patrick Peterson. A lot of Cardinal fans are also, kind of siding with Patrick Peterson and kind of questioning the culture within this Arizona Cardinal locker room. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts about the Arizona Cardinals and the organization in the comments below. And let's dive right into the trades and what they have done so far for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's go ahead and talk about the trades that already happened for the Arizona Cardinals in the 2022 season, right? We had 3 trades that went down. We ended up getting Cody Ford from the Bills. We ended up getting Trayvon Mullen from the Raiders, as well as getting Robbie Anderson from the Panthers. Now, we have seen a good amount of Cody Ford, being that obviously Justin Pugh ended up going down and has now found himself in the IR and gone for the entirety of the season. So we're starting to see a lot more Cody Ford within this last 2 games. Now, he's been productive right now. Has he been good? That's kind of a different story for a different day. I think they still need to gel within the other offensive linemen to kind of get down to the actual fundamentals of being, just one unison offensive line. I think there still needs to be work that needs to be done there for Cody Ford. But when you're taking a look at Trayvon Mullen only was available or, gave us an opportunity to see what he can do on week 4. Now, even in week 4, he had 18 snaps and he played 35% of the defensive plays. That's crazy. Now, any other week after that, we haven't seen Trayvon Mullen at all. Now, one big thing that I want to talk about here as well is the fact that, yes, we haven't seen him, but a good majority is because he's been hurt, right? He's found himself always hurt, right? One Raiders fan told me that, Trayvon Mullen could be good as long as he can remain healthy. And now we're kind of feeling the effects of, okay, well, we still don't know what he's going to look like, because the only one game that we end up seeing Trayvon Mullen, he had 18 snaps and played 35% of the defensive snaps for that game. So not really a good sample size. Week 5, he wasn't present. Week 6, he wasn't present. Week 7 and week 8, 0%. We didn't use him at all. We were using Marco Wilson. We were using Byron Murphy, as well as Antonio Hamilton. So obviously with Antonio Hamilton coming back, that definitely went ahead and pegged Trayvon Mullen down a notch. So he's definitely not seeing a lot of playing time, which kind of sucks, because I definitely wanted to see what he could do for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, another player that did get traded to the Arizona Cardinals as well, and that is wide receiver Robbie Anderson. Now, to me here, what I saw last week, I'm not talking about week 8, but I'm talking about week 7, seeing that we were kind of getting a decrease of AJ Green, I was excited, right? On week 7, AJ Green had 0 offensive snaps. 0. And then this week, he had 37, plays, and he did 47% of the offensive snaps on the field. He was on the field 47% of the time when the offense was on the field. Now, Robbie Anderson, on the other hand, last week on week 7, he had 13 plays, and he was on the field when the offense was on the field 20% of the time. Now, it seems like we're regressing from that, right? On week 8 versus the Vikings, he had 7 offensive, plays, and he was on the field 9% of the time. Dang, we're making these trades, but nobody is really giving us a huge impact, right? It seems like these trades are just very minimal, and it kind of seems like we're making them because they're just kind of one of those things where it's just really, really, low draft picks, and they're kind of like throwaway draft picks at this moment, right? And obviously if they work, then Steve Keim looks like a genius. But honestly, none of these players so far have given us the production that we want them to give us, right? I know the trade deadline is tomorrow, and there's a lot of fans kind of, at the edge of their seat right now with a lot of this Cardinal organization and what we've been seeing so far in the 2022 season. But can the Arizona Cardinals still make moves? Yes, I still do believe we can make moves, but honestly, I think we're going to be making moves if we do, like we're seeing with Robbie Anderson as well as Trayvon Mullen. Do I see the Arizona Cardinals going for a Bradley Chubb, Daron Payne, anything like that? I don't, guys. I really don't, and it sucks, but the situation is that the Arizona Cardinals put ourselves in this situation, right? We're constantly always having to play for a must-win game. I think right now we're sitting 0-2, right? Yeah, 0-2 versus the division right now. So we put ourselves in the hole in the division. Now, granted, yes, there's still a lot of games coming in within the NFL, but after, this week 8, week 9, 9, 10, and 11, we got back-to-back-to-back division games. Back-to-back-to-back. And in the beginning of the season, I saw the Seahawks and I'm like, oh, that's an easy win. Honestly, they're probably not going to be an easy win for the Arizona Cardinals at all. We already lost to them earlier in the season, and we're going to have to play the Rams right after them, which they always have our number, and then the San Francisco 49ers, which obviously it's kind of a toss-up to either we sweep them or we split. It really just kind of depends on what happens when the San Francisco 49ers, but back-to-back-to-back division games is going to be tough for the Arizona Cardinals. So do I still see the Arizona Cardinals making a move? I do, but I don't think it's the big splash move that a lot of us are wanting to see. Now, when you're looking at the NFC West in the entirety, right now, yes, we're 3-5, right? We're 3-5. We got 9 games left at this very moment within the NFL. So if the Arizona Cardinals run the table, which I don't think it's going to happen, they could still very well win 12 games in this season, right? They can end the season 12-5. Now, I know, I'm done. It's not going to happen. I'm fully aware of that. But what I'm saying is that there is still hope, right? There is still hope for the Arizona Cardinals to get back into a right position. Now, if we lose in these division games, man, it might be wrap it up for the season for the Arizona Cardinals, but we do got a tough test coming in to the season with week 9, 10, and 11 coming through for the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm very curious to figure out how this is going to come out. I don't see the Arizona Cardinals making a big splash play like we all want them to, but if they do make a trade, I can see one of the trades that is going to be a Robbie Anderson, right? Which on paper, it looked pretty cool, especially with AJ Green not doing what we want him to do. But that's kind of what we're going to be looking for, honestly. I don't know if we're going to be sellers. I really hope we're not going to be sellers. But I haven't heard any reports or anything like the Arizona Cardinals are fielding any calls. Right now, this division is still open. But right now, we're not looking very good as a team, or we're not completing the games that we should be in order for us to be a good, functional team. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on this whole situation, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think we're going to be buyers? And if we're buyers, who do you think we're going to get? Let me know in the comments below, as well as if you think we're going to be sellers. Who do you think we're going to sell? Put everything in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.